Hi, how you doing? We are Thursday again. I can't believe Thursday has come around so quick. But on the other hand, it also seems really long time because it's been, 2 weeks since I've seen you? So I'm here to revisit, hiya Carolyn, revisit the book weight. Now, if you've been following us since lockdown, this is something that I tried to do. I had to go back through, and it was the 3rd of August 2021, if you want to go back to that. We will mention that again, I would imagine, at the end. So, hi, there's Linda. Haven't seen you in at least 5 minutes. And hiya, Anne. How you doing? So we are going to revisit the book weight. Just stay still, all right? The dog's in here and she's patting around. So if you hear it, I've shut the door because the boys are doing the dishwasher. So the first time that I did this, hiya Margaret, was the 3rd of August 2021, and it went completely tits up. I mean, there is no other word for it. It's tits up. I had Linda in the shop and Josh was there. Josh was doing the filming at the time because we didn't do it like this. And the camera was going like this. I'm on the floor crying with laughter, and I'm almost having to pick Linda up off the floor as well. We giggled quite a lot. It just went completely wrong. So we are going to try another version, maybe. We'll see. I've not really practiced it. I've done a little bit. Come on over here, babe. That's a good girl. Lie down. There we are. I'm worried I'm going to run over her. So we are going to have a look at... Let me get my stuff out and I'll talk you through it, okay? Hi, Ra. How are you? You alright? And Taryn? Not long till you get your new job. Nikki? Hiya, Nikki. Are you alright? Are you away? Are you all away? And Kate, how are you? So, right, she's put all the numbers back to, or it decided to do the numbers back to what it was. So there we go. So, it's my little pile of fluff and stuff. Now, if you watched us back in 2021, I think it was 21. I don't think it was 22. It seems like a lifetime away that it happened. All the fluff all stuck to my batiks. I wanted to make this book weight, right? But I hadn't had a chance to practice it. A bit like now. Okay, and I wanted there to be a flower. Well, we're now going to have a 3D flower. Okay, so I will talk you through how I've made that and the weight. I have brown rice to fill it with because the idea is this book weight will hold a book open while you're reading it. So if you're lying on your sunbed with the book on the floor, it will hold it open. It'll hold it open if you are doing what's it called? Doing cooking. See, I struggle with that because I don't remember what cooking is half the time. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken my 4-inch circle and I've drawn a circle and we're going to stick to the circle this time. And I've taken my 2.5-inch ruler and put lines in between. Okay, so the idea is that these circles you fill with rice, okay, and you put one on each side of your book. Now, again, I'm not sure whether to do these separate. See, not thought about it hard enough. So, and I don't know whether you actually need that bigger a thingy. What have I made it? You know, the stalk in between. I've made it, it's about 5 inches. Yeah, 5 inches. It's a big book. However, if we did that as a whole, that would work, wouldn't it? And then this being floppy. So I was going to do it that you turn it out the right way, but we're going to pink it like this because it makes it a lot easier, and it's one of those quick summer projects then. So I've drawn with my disappearing pen circles, 2 circles, and my lines. Now it probably is a really bad fabric to use, but it was like the first one on the top, so we're going to go with that. Okay, so I'm going to actually sew on the lines, and I'm trying to decide. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the circle, I'm going to sew the lines, and then sew the whole circle. Okay, and then I'll show you how we're going to fill it from there. All right, so over to the machine. Go Sunday night. Oh, amazing. My daughter and her little family are in Barcelona at the moment, which sounds really cool to me. Right, we should be able to do this all in one go. Right, so I'm using Sarah's new machine, which is oh, I don't know what that did. I'm pressing buttons and I don't know what that did. Right, okay, so we are going to sew around the circle, come down this line here. Okay, I think it needs to come down the line, round the circle, and then back up the line. Might have to go around something twice. Right, where's my foot? So we're just doing a normal stitch, going around. If you do it slow enough, you should be able to do it in one fell swoop. So we're just following this around here. New job starts in September. 3 months notice. Wow. Oh, you must have been there quite a while then, Taryn. If you have to be there 3 months notice. But by Christmas you'll be in a new job. Oh, oh, hang on. I don't know what this is doing. Hang on. I don't know what it's doing. Okay. I hate new machines. I think I have it's not stopping with the needle down anymore, so I'm struggling here. I don't know how to put the needle down again, sir. And it keeps lock stitching. Yeah, it's nesting like... I don't know what I've done. It's all nested underneath. This is what happens when you use a machine that you don't know. Right, okay, so I'm just going to cut that. Yeah, look, I got all nested underneath because the thingy wasn't staying down. Okay. I'm going to start there. We'll just have to keep going. Don't stop. No. Okay. She's coming. She's going to shout at me now.
What have you done to my baby?
I've no idea what I've done.
Right, let me get in there.
I pressed the needle and it didn't stay down.
She's come in threaded up there.
I don't know about your machine. Look what it's done to my sewing. So, yeah.
What? I let you loose on her one time?
I know.
One time? But what have you done?
I'll just have to stop doing these 1 o'clocks.
You are not.
We could go back to crochet, couldn't we, girls? It's beeping. It's yeah. Getting the machine, getting a lesson in sorting the machine out. I suppose I should have left it on a 4, shouldn't I?
How's it come out of there?
I don't know. I didn't do nothing, did I, people? It was working fine. Make it so that the needle stays down.
Well, it does. There's a foot lift. The needle stays down.
No, it doesn't. I might have pressed a button.
You must have pressed a button. Oh, right, okay. That means I've got to reprogram it, woman.
Where's the front loader?
Yeah, that's stronger.
So I had a week off. It was really nice. So I went to the Mumbles, yeah. I went to talk amongst yourselves.
What have you done?
Went to the Mumbles for 2 days. That was really nice. I also went to a hen do in Pontypridd, of all places. Not that I have ever been to a hen do in Pontypridd. It's not really somewhere where you would expect to go. But we went to Prince's Cafe. Now, if you've ever been to Pontypridd, you'll know that Prince's Cafe is a really old. I mean, it was going when my mum was living there as a very young girl. We used to pick up cakes on the way home back to my nan's. My nan lived in Chatham. So we had afternoon tea there. Well, I'm telling you now, it's worth it. It really is worth it. I mean, we did afternoon tea at the Ivy, and I reckon Prince's Cafe is a lot better than the Ivy. I'm sticking to that as well. How are we doing? She's topping with a needle now.
Right, don't touch any of my buttons, woman. Don't touch my buttons. Foot down. Cut the thread.
Okay, mind the needle.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we try
This
this again?
footway is not designed to ever be
No,
made.
no. If it doesn't go right this time, it's not being done again. It's something that we'll just have to deal with. Okay. Should we go back to this? Right. Prince's Cafe is where my mum used to take me when we went shopping in Ponty. Exactly. We always went to Prince's and picked up stuff to go home. Right. Okay. Right, hang on a minute, I'll concentrate a minute. Right, it seems to be working. I get very nervous when she's... See, it's not keeping the needle down. That's where it's all nesting underneath.
I don't know what you've pressed then, love. I'm going to have to reset it with that setting. I'll have to use the wheel and do it. I don't know what you've pressed without me going back through all the settings to stop that happening now.
Well, I didn't press any of this.
But it was working fine.
What's this?
No, that's needle. There we go. What's
I don't know, Seth. I don't know.
Right, I'm leaving you to it. I will reset it when I come back later.
It doesn't touch nothing, girls. I don't know whether I'm putting something pressure on a foot somewhere. Don't know. What do you think? Yeah, this book weight is something that is destined never to be made, I think. Right. I'm going round here. In fact, I'm losing the will to do this book weight. I don't know about the rest of you. Okay, so we're going around to there. Oh, look, it stayed in. I don't understand why sometimes it stays in and sometimes it doesn't. Now, at home, I would have found a pink thread so that this wasn't standing out, but I think you need to see it. Okay. Okay. Just doing this last bit here. Okay, right, it looks a bit of a mess, but we go in with it. Okay, so I've got my my dumbbells here, and the whole point of it is we're going to bury these ends in here, and then we're going to cut them out. No, I've done a lock stitch. I'm just going to cut them off. I'll find some scissors because I'm not sure this is going to be something that I'm going to keep for prosperity at all. Right, okay. So, are you with me so far with this? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it out now, go all the way around with the pinking shears. Okay, so hi Claire, you didn't need a book. No, nobody probably needs a book weight anyway. So we're going to cut this out like this. As you can see, it is quite stark with the white, but let me put it this way, I can't keep a needle down, let alone rethread the machine, so we're going to stick with the white cream and go along here. Now you could do this, leave a gap in it, okay, and turn it out. Should you want to make one, okay, but this way I can use less rice. All right, so this is going to be my top. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hole in here. All right, like that. Because we're going to put this flower on top and sew that on, that it should be all right. Now we are now going to try and get some rice in there. I'm not sure. I said to Sarah, have you got funnel? No. I knew I should have pulled one out at home. Let me see if I can get it out there. Oh, there's going to be rice. She's going to be picking up rice forever now. There we go. So you're watching me put the rice in. So yeah, so this cream tea that we went on, right, was you had a piece of corned beef pie, and which is a very Welshism thing to do, and we had cream cakes and sandwiches as well. So we had corned beef pie, a pasty. I can't get that in there. This is not going to go well, is it? I can see this not going well at all. So maybe turning it out the right way, you know, doing it right sides together, and then having a bigger hole would probably be a better idea. So the idea is to fill this with rice like this. Okay. There we go. It's not going to go in, is it? I'm going to do a little bit at a time. So the idea is to I need an owl. I need a bigger owl. So no, this is not going to work. We'll have take 3 in about 4 years' time. So we're trying to get that in there. See, at home you'd have a funnel and it would work then. I'm getting there. So you would fill this with rice. Okay, so you get the idea. You would fill that with rice. And sew the flour on the top. Okay. Do you know, one day I'm going to make this like that. So sounds like I'm having fun. I'm not sure, Jen. I'm really not sure. It's one of those disaster things that. So, oh, there we go. We've got one tub in there. All right. So you could fill this with sand, like that. So what you want is a fair weight. That needs more in there. Then you're going to take this and we're going to sew that on there. See, Jean? I managed to work out a way of getting my flour on there. You were saying about doing it afterwards. And then I thought, well, I don't know whether I'll be able to draw it in afterwards and then fill it with rice. So I came up with this idea. It's not working either. Right, okay. So with your needle, which needs threading, you are just going to tip your flour. Nobody's going to see this bit, so you just sew through here, okay, like that. And you're covering the hole. That's the idea anyway, is that you're going to sew this on. So your challenge this week is to make a book weight. And and if you do, I won't send you mine. So you're going to do this and sew in, make sure that you're closing up the hole. Now you could stitch over the hole before you do this, but you're going to want it probably a little bit more in there than that. I mean, that's quite weighty, but I would have thought you'd need a little bit more in there than what I've put. So we're just sewing this on quick. Like I say, it's one of those hand sewing that doesn't matter because nobody's going to see it, and if they are looking at it, you need to give them a slap. Okay, so I did the flower exactly the same way as I did the thing. I'm not even going to attempt to go back to that sewing machine. I think I need a bit more practice with it. There we go. So there you would have it. So all I did was I printed off a 5-petal daisy. I wanted to make it simple, and a circle. I've gone through on here and just sewed on my line all the way round, okay, and then I've pinked it. Using the batiks, it doesn't fray quite as much as other fabrics anyway, I find. And I did the same with the circle, double-sided, right? And then once you've sewn it and pinked it, if you make that little hole in the middle, you can stuff it then, okay? And then the same with your circle on the back. Put a hole on the back of your circle and then pop it on, sew it on, because it covers the hole. Can you see? You're going to cover the hole, which is a good way of stuffing. It's how we did our Christmas ones. And that will be a book weight. It would hold your pages down so that it keeps it open, as long as you've got enough stuff in there. So there's another project which is a good idea that didn't quite work. So we're just that's the book weight. If you go and have a look at the other one, it's a lot funnier because there's other people there, and it just made it really thing. Oh, there's a good idea, Margot. I didn't even think of that. Oh, that would have been a good idea if I'd have made a funnel with a piece of paper, and that would have gone through. Perfect. See, I need people like you in my life. I need you all to be here. What I need is for you all to be sat there and throw ideas at me. That would work. So, a small hole in the seam. Smaller than the hole in the seam would be better. I was just trying to work it out. I know a lot of you don't like hand sewing, so to be able to hide your hand sewing like that and then just do a whole thing, but yeah, to leave it open, if you're going to leave the seams open and fill it, then don't do a full circle. Just do the dog bone like that and leave a gap. Fill it, and I would then turn it round. If I was going to do that, I would turn it inside out, which is where it went wrong last time, which is why I thought this would be easier. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the flower. I don't know about the book weight, but I quite like the flower. I suppose you could fill your flower with rice and just pop it on the page, couldn't you? That would work. That might work. Just do the flowers. Which one am I on now? I don't remember. Yeah, just do the flowers and weight those down, and you could do those as weights for your sewing as well. You've been watching Sewing Bee? I haven't seen last night's yet, so we're not talking about it. Fab demo. Thanks, Marilyn. You're one of my favourites. So, right, everybody. I love everybody that thinks that I know what I'm talking about. Right, I'm off. I'm going back over to the shop because I'm Aunt Marvin. And I'm not going to touch that sewing machine again now. It should be over there. Right, what was I going to say to you? I'll see you next week. So, bye.